What up, man? I hope you guys are good. I'm just prepping dinner and the kids are playing, so if you hear any noise, that's what it is. Today, I wanted to talk about what I don't want to talk about. That's what I have to talk about today anyway. That's the notion of the devil, yeah? Lucifer, whatever you want to call it. Satan, whatever. What do we know about Satan? We know that he was once an angel of God, yeah? That rebelled against God, yeah? I think this also happens with the Muslims and stuff, so clearly it's the same story. If you think that it's not the same story, fucking do what you want. So what happened? This creation of God, who had been granted powers just like, or abilities and autonomy. Keep that word in your head, autonomy, and given some degree of control of his reality, yeah, decided that the autonomy and the control that he had over his world was as a result of his own power. So he decided to usurp the throne of the energy or the power that was energizing him. Yeah? So think of it this way. Something's been created by the Most High or the infinite God, consciousness, whatever. Just like all of us, we've spawned here. And he realizes that he has some degree of control and autonomy, which is flesh-based, because he doesn't actually control any part of his actual, he doesn't control anything. He didn't actually control himself into being or anything like that. So it's an illusion. And then he decides to rebel against God. Yeah? Rebellion against God is basically, one second, I'll do this in a second. Rebellion against God is pretty simple. Essentially, because of the little power and control that he has over his reality and his autonomy, is now standing in that position and saying that he is better or bigger than God, the energy that is powering him. So if we think back to the chessboard example, the pawn is adamant that because, or the knight or the rook or whatever, king, queen, whatever, because we're all archetypes, yeah, we're all different archetypes, different expressions of the one thing in different modes as well, yeah. It's not necessarily because one's more powerful than the other or whatever like that, but we have different abilities, but we're the same configuration, just a different combination, yeah. Same way you have archangels, cherubim, seraphim, all those guys. It's archetypes. So he decides, yeah, based on the autonomy and control I have over my reality, I'm more powerful than God, yeah? So I'm going to do what I want, yeah? I'm going to take my body or my reality, my physical reality, and, go the direction that I want and not listen to the voice of the observer within. That's what rebellion is. So what did the devil do? Then the devil went to try and rally some troops and then go against God. And he lost, yeah? Why didn't God kill him? Everybody asked. And that's one of the questions I used to ask as a kid, like, well, is God dumb or something? Why can't he just kill the guy? He's made him. Because God is infinite. God is all powerful. God recognizes the divinity in all of us, even the most impure. Because the energy that's powering him, although he lives in the flesh, is still the energy of God, the energy of consciousness. The devil didn't make himself. Listen to what I'm saying. The devil did not make himself. So God, being all wise, all knowing everything, is not going to kill him because it's his energy inside of him. It won't make sense. So hell is really the devil's ego death. But the devil, instead of actually going through that ego death and facing up to what he is actually looking to convince more people to come and join in living from the position of the flesh, i.e. wasting their lives. Because if you waste your life, you're going to end up in hell. Yeah. Even in the physical, you will. Yeah. Bro, it's all interlinked. So with that being said, the devil is not actually going through his ego death. He's not actually focusing on that. Instead of focusing, going through it, recognize what he is and living authentically, as was his purpose, he's saying, nah, I'm going to let other people live in flesh and we're going to be one flesh living family. So going back to the garden, you remember I told you that Adam, Eve and all of that, it was all transpiring in the mind of God. And I told you that the reptilians, we are the reptilians. The reptilians are just a previous iteration of us. The snake in the garden is a previous iteration of me and you. But it just lives in the flesh. They, yeah, all the theys that control the world, and the they and the they and the they are all iterations of us, different iterations of us. The same energy that's driving us, but they are embedded in the flesh. That's why they'll do everything to ram their flesh-based narrative down your throat. It's the same as the devil rallying, looking for troops to rebel against God. It's no different. It's no different. So if you're trying to force people to try and, support this fucking trans stuff, support fucking abusing kids, support all this other stupid shit that they're fucking advocating, yeah? It's because they are living in flesh and they're looking for others to rally against. So it goes back to heaven. I'm telling you, the beginning and the end, we're living in the end right now, yeah? But the beginning and the end is just one loop. The beginning and the end is one loop. Do you understand? We are the same energy in just different forms. So if we go back to, if you think of angels as the first iteration or the first creation of God, because they were, according to the books, right? It's just a story. But let's just use that. According to the books, they were the first iteration or the first creations of God are these angels, right? Now, the purpose of angels is to help God. Help God what? Help God experience what life is in that dimension. Yeah? We are conduits for God. Then they decide to rebel. I am my own power. Yeah? Okay. And they're doing that. What you have to realize that in the same way that they were never able to usurp God's power, most of the reflections or the projections or manifestations of God in flesh are not going to go down not going to go down living in the flesh. They just won't do it because they recognize it's a higher recognition of what they are. They can use economics and all these other things, but we know what we are. Yeah. But there'll always be a group that will support that. Now, the question becomes, if you live in the flesh, right? Inadvertently, you are in alignment with that type of energy. So you will also face your ego death. You will face the shift. You will have to die to live. You have to die to live, bro. You will have to die to live. Anyway.